Welcome everybody to episode 5 of the Found Faith podcast. It is episode 5, right?
Yeah,
And
episode 5.
And the reason I asked is because it's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been.
I don't know, it's been 3 weeks.
No, I think 4 since we last recorded.
With Shayla, right?
Yeah.
Shayla, we recorded the week of her wedding, so it was like the 20s. Yeah, we're in May. It's been a month.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a month. Why does it? I mean, because the episode with Shayla released,
I think 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Or last week, Gary? 2 weeks
2
ago.
weeks, yeah.
So now, okay, so maybe that's why it doesn't feel that long.
Yeah.
'Cause I just recently watched the Shayla podcast, so it feels like it just. I was just there,
like,
you know.
Yeah, we were just there.
But yeah, it's episode 5. Like I'm one of the hosts, Will, joined by my guy over here,
Danny for family.
Danny for family, and we are all family here.
Family.
So we are happy to be on episode 5, bro, of this ministry.
Yes, sir.
And today's gonna look a little different.
It is.
It's gonna look a little different.
Damn. Oh. Tell him why, Will. Tell him why.
No, undisclosed. But next episode we should have a guest. We should have a guest. Undisclosed. But you're trying to get me in trouble today. But it's gonna look different. But I think it's good for every once in a while for you and I just to talk.
Yeah.
To I know we shared part of our testimony, the first episode, but kind of just talk about how things are going in our lives. Talk about how things are going in our ministry, in our church, in our community. So I think this episode, although it's going to look different, I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, and I think I even told you about it too last Saturday. I was like, hey, man, maybe we should just also have like a sit down where it's just you and I instead of a guest. I didn't think it was going to be this quick, but we're here now, so I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to talk to you. Brother.
Hey, sorry.
Brother.
Just to talk and catch up about everything. And I do have some stuff in mind that I'll bring it up at the end.
Yeah.
I've been wrestling with some things,
Okay.
but we'll talk about that at the end. Before anything, though, Danny, I do want to ask you, and you share what you are comfortable sharing, right? Because a few weeks ago now, a month ago now, how long ago was it now that you had a new addition to your family?
May 4th.
May 4th. Oh, that's an awesome birthday.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome birthday. So you have a new little baby girl, right?
Yeah.
So how's that been going, bro?
It's good, dude.
You got to give me more than it's good.
I know.
There's no way.
I was about to
There's
dive
no way.
in, but yeah. May 4th, Olivia Rose Ferran. I like the name.
No, I love the name.
Yeah,
Olivia Rose. Yeah.
I thought it was. We wrestled with a couple names.
What were the options?
Elena.
Elena.
Yeah, and then we had another one. The kids were always throwing out different names. Chloe didn't even want to put a name on her. She's like, nah, let's just name her nothing.
Let's see if we like her first.
Yeah. And then Jacob was always throwing names. Sophia had names, but at the end, I think it just kind of, I had to make the final decision. It was like,
who picked you? Picked Olivia?
I mean, me and my wife.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we, like I said, we had certain names that we were just like, okay, yes, no, and then at the end, she liked Rose. I liked Rose, but Olivia was just the one that stood out. So
yeah, Olivia Rose sounds good together.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool, huh?
So Olivia Rose Ferran.
Yeah,
I like that, bro. And everything process went well. Your wife, fine. She's recovering. Everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll share a little bit about the delivery process and everything. Man, obviously this is my 4th child.
Well, you got experience.
Hey.
You beating me 4-0.
Gotta catch up, brother. But I will say, like, it's crazy sometimes when you're going through situations in life where you just. I've been there and done it, but every time, like, I think I have seen nurses come in and come out, but this last nurse that we had, man, she made an impact on the whole process of, like, the minute we got to the doctor or to the hospital and everything, because she was born right here in Methodist, so like 10 minutes from here. Man, like, and me and my wife were talking about it. It just felt like God was there, or like God put in the right person, because her name was Vanessa, man, and I should have got the last name, dude, because I don't think I'll ever forget that nurse.
That's how impactful it was. Like,
yeah, she took like, and she was a travel nurse. So I was talking to her because she originally, her plan is to go back to Houston. I was like, damn, they're about to lose her because she was great. Like, I think if I were to compare it to or just the service she gave, man, she was taking care of everything, and just the way she would talk to my wife, the way she would talk to me, the way she was offering this and that. Yeah, man, when the baby came, because she came like around 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, even when we were leaving, I told her, I was like, yo, thank you. Like, thank you. You've made this like the best process. You've been the best nurse.
And you would know because you
this is
your fourth time. So
exactly. And I was just like, man, she made an impact on like what type of the type of service you.
Was it just like that? She was just like engaged and on it.
Yeah, she was just present. Like, she was really trying to make my wife as comfortable as possible. She was talking to her, and just the way she communicated just made you feel like she cared so deeply for my wife. And I was just like, man, if anyone could have this, the type of like, I call it service, I guess, but maybe it's not service, but the way the service she gave, what? Oh, the experience. Yeah, that's perfect. The experience she gave us, I wish everyone could have that, because man, it was awesome.
And it's. First of all, I'm glad that you had that experience, and it goes to show, because you said right now that you and your wife are talking, and it's like, oh, this was God. This was definitely God, and it's the little things that we can do in life. You know? Yeah. Because we often think that ministry is just go to church, preach, sing, and then go home. But here you were impacted deeply, and this is the most deeply I've ever seen you impacted.
Yeah, dude,
by a nurse. By a nurse. So it's one of those things that no matter where you are or what you do it with intention. Do it with a good heart, and you don't know the impact that you're going to leave on people. Yeah,
and I think even to tie that back in, it was like, when me and my wife got there, we prayed and everything for everything to just go smooth, right? For everything to go smooth. And I think that's like when her and I were talking about, like, that was God's way of saying, hey, like, I gotcha. Like, even with everything we've kind of been going through this past year with the house and just the inconsistency of our lives, I think he just kind of put this person there to kind of show like just kind of build this rock for us that we can lean on through the process. And man, it was just amazing, man. It was amazing to see.
I'm sure it's a comforting experience to feel like, oh, this is God's answered prayer.
Yeah.
So, but she's good though. She's at home chilling.
Yeah. 8 pounds, 22 inches.
I can't tell if that's big or heavy. So you tell me.
It's normal. Okay. It's normal. But
who's your biggest kid?
Man, we were talking about this, and I think he was Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah, big boy. Big boy Jacob.
Jacob. How much did Jacob weigh?
Man, I think he was close to 10.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. Okay, no, I know that. Yeah, that's big. Yeah,
I think he was close to 10 pounds.
But I'm glad your wife is at home resting with the baby, and that you've had time.
Yeah, well. I had told you I took, instead of taking like my whole time off together, I kind of been splitting it these past 3, 4, and I'll probably still take another 2 more weeks where I'll take some more time off.
Maternity leave?
Yeah.
So, does she sleep well at night?
Well, right now, every 2 hours. Every 2 hours, she's getting up.
So that's the thing, though, right? Like, because you're the second person this week that told me, like, yo, like, because I guess on topic, I've been having severe baby fever like the last 2 weeks, like crazy. And then they're trying to like talk me out of it.
What?
And they were saying, like, just let you know, like, they're like every 2 hours or every hour, like they're gonna want something and they're gonna be crying. You're gonna have to figure it out. Yeah. So is that how it's been? Or?
Yeah, but I think at the end that's life, dude.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, it's a process of the 2 hours eventually is gonna get to 4 hours, 6 hours. And then you're gonna wish you were back at that 2 hour.
You look back and wish you were back at.
Yeah, because they're gonna grow up so fast, and then you're gonna be like, man, it's like this year. We're already gonna be in June.
Yeah, bro,
that's quick.
That's quick. Shout out to you, Olivia Rose, if you're watching this. 10 years from now, or
right?
Yeah, shout out to you. But yeah, bro, I'm really happy for you and your family. I know your
Thanks.
mom. I've been speaking to your mom, and your mom's just
Yeah,
like just out of this world happy.
yeah.
So I'm glad that the Farhans are.
We're growing, man. I know. I told my mom, I was like, "Hey, mom, you know what? I got one more than you."
Yeah, I was like, you got him beat now.
Yeah.
Like, you got him beat now.
I told my dad too. I was like, "Look, I got 4 opportunities, for them to take care of me now. One of them's gonna retire me.
One of them has to. One has to. That's 4 houses for you in the future.
Hey, that's all I need, man.
But yeah, I love you, Rose. Welcome to the Alchemy community.
Yeah,
May 4th, which is an awesome date.
Yeah, we'll bring her. We'll bring her up here.
Oh yeah, she hasn't.
Yeah. No, we haven't gone out yet. We're waiting a little bit more.
Is there like a process to that? Like, what is the?
Man, I think a lot of the times it just really depends on like your
the parent, right? Because I see some parents like next day kind of.
Yeah, there's some parents that go out like right away. Some parents are like, no, you can't leave for like 2 months, 3 months. You can't get out. So we, with our experience, I think maybe in 2-3 more weeks we'll finally go out.
Okay, so like the 2 months, like you want to wait. Like
Yeah,
2 months.
just to kind of get the baby some time to like really grow and develop and not expose her to so many people and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to meet her, and
Yeah.
I think it's going to be awesome when she's here. And we love when our family grows.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a baby.
Yeah, you didn't.
But I got a puppy.
Another one?
Yeah.
Oh,
I got a golden retriever puppy.
Really?
Yeah.
Golden
she's a psychopath. Yeah. But
What?
it was like, I'm a very impulsive person.
Okay. I was gonna say
the idea just got in my head, and I was like, "Yo, Jazz, are you down?" My wife.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm down, but should we?" And you're like, "Hey, it's not. Think about that. Like you're down, I'm down, and bro, I just found a puppy on Craigslist.
Bro.
we got
the life, dude, just to be home looking for puppies.
I mean, that's kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it happened.
So instead of having a baby, you
we
went for
got
a puppy.
Yeah. That's what her grandma told her. She was like, "I don't want another dog. Like, give me some grandkids." But we got time.
Yeah, of course.
But like I said, I do have baby fever, so who knows?
Yeah.
We incoming another.
So how's the puppy?
She's all right, bro. Nah, she's great. She's cute. Her name is Ruby.
Ruby.
And she's getting Ruby and Nova, my other dog.
Okay.
They get along.
Yeah.
Great. Like too great. Like they're just
okay.
on each other all the time, like playing around. So, and she was potty trained like in 2 days.
Oh wow.
No, like it's so much easier.
Really?
Like I don't know if like I said, it's not a baby.
Yeah.
But I did have something happen in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of changes, a big change happened in our ministry. 2 big changes happened in our ministry. And I want to touch on the first one.
All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So for a long time, maybe since this thing started, since Alchemy started, it was labeled as Oak Cliff Youth, right? And that's kind of like our handle, and Oak Cliff Youth kind of represents all the youth and young adult ministries in our church, right?
Yeah.
But recently, what am I now? Like maybe a month ago, 2-3 weeks ago, we made the change to go from Oak Cliff Youth to the Oak Cliff Church. Now, I haven't spoken to how you feel about it or what you think about it, the new logo, the name, and all that stuff. Before I dive into why, what do you think of the change?
So, I mean, I didn't get a chance to vote.
You were invited though.
I was.
Yeah.
I guess I missed that one.
It was unanimous though. I do want to point that it was unanimous like that. So,
but I mean, talking to my sister, I think I was always for it. I think it was like needed in a way, because I think when I talked to Natalie, I was like, not that the youth like isn't a big part of what we want and everything like that, but I think the way I was seeing the work they were trying to put and everything like that, I felt like it needed to be bigger and more
representative of who's in it.
Yeah, of everybody. Because
like you said, we do have youth. Like our literal director, is a youth. She's 17.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she's the director of this ministry. But in the same vein, we have people like yourself, we have Nat, we have Diana, we have Eva, we have Gare Bear over there.
Yeah.
So we have like different people that make up this ministry. We have teens, we have youth, we have young adults, we have potentially even children later in the future, to help us in the sound. So I just think that, as a pastor, when you hear youth, and this is the why, as a pastor, when you hear youth, you think 13 to 18. Like that's like if this is a youth service, then I expect to see middle school to high school. Yeah. So that's why I think it was if we wanted to go to where we needed to go, I think it was important to open up that umbrella to the Oak Cliff Church. And I think it embodies kind of what we are, because we are the Oak Cliff Church. Like our official name is Oak Cliff Spanish Adventist Church, and we are the English side of that church. So I think it fits. I think it fits. Now, what do you think of the logo?
I like it.
I love it. That's I want you. I want to see if you like it or not.
No, I think at the end I liked all the colors. I think for me it would have been cool to kind of see the O closed up.
I like the invisible O though.
Yeah,
I like the invisible.
But at the same time, like after seeing it a couple more times and then just seeing the colors of it, I think I like it. I think it's unique. I think it's very like sleek.
Looks clean.
It
looks clean. And I know the girls put a lot of work into it. I know Shirley, Karen, Nat, Diana, Jazz, Eva, all of them. They worked hard on the logo, especially Shirley. She put the logo together. So I think it looks clean. I think it's a great transition to what we're trying to build here, or not trying anymore. Actually, I don't know if you want to talk anything more about the logo or
before you hit that topic, I know that one. I was gonna say, well, how was the process for you? How to change it? How was it for you as the lead of trying to go through, making the change, making the transition? Because I'm sure maybe you had some reservations, like, well, why are we trying to change it?
At first, but I think when we had like the official vote, what kind of blew me away is that it was like everybody was down. Everybody was down. Everybody knew that a change needed to happen. It's just what was it going to be like? We had a lot of. Should we like talk about the other options, or we just not even leap? Should we just?
Yeah, you made me talk about
because you're right. Yeah. So I had my favorite. Well, first of all, Oak Cliff. Let me not dive into the whole history. But some of the people came up with Oak Cliff Local.
Okay.
And I loved it because like you can spell local with the O-L-K and then L, so L-O-A-K-L, like local. So I thought it was like a really cool.
Okay.
They had like the oak.
Okay.
And then just Oak Cliff Alchemy. But I wanted something that represented the umbrella,
Yeah.
So I'm happy that the Oak Cliff Church won that vote.
Yeah.
What was? You think we made the right choice?
Yeah, I think I like Oak Cliff Church.
Logo is pretty dope, though.
Yeah,
logo is pretty dope.
But even the oak sounds kind of cool. It sounds kind of like a little.
But I think there's a church already.
Oh, for real? I was gonna say you can add like a coffee shop up here.
Yeah, for sure. Coming soon. But yeah, I think the Oak Cliff Church was a good one, and it's just representative of who we are. So now when you go to our services. It's like an intergenerational service. And that's like one of my favorite words, intergenerational. Like when we start doing stuff that's intergenerational, that's stuff that lasts.
I guess.
There's a picture that I have, or that Isaac or Jasmine took, one of them too, of Jacob, you, and your dad.
Okay.
In the sound booth. And I love that picture.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what alchemy should be. It's like 3 different generations working in the same industry.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jacob has a future in sound or if he wants to do it, but I look at that picture and I'm like, this is
that's what you want.
That's what I want. I want intergenerational ministry. The generation pouring into each other, So
and I think by that change, right? I think it's giving the opportunity for others to feel a little bit more welcome, maybe. More of like, oh man, they are doing different things. They are trying to include more people. They are trying to open up those doors to say, hey, come through, come help. If you want to be part of something, be part of it. If you got some talents you want to use up here, like come help us, help us grow. So I do. That's why I was like talking to Natalie. I was like, I'm always for the change, just because I think it did open up another door for us to just be a little bigger.
To open it up, and I'm glad the team also saw it that way, because like I said, the alchemy team, the Oak Cliff Church team, because it's Alchemy and AWOC, bro, it consists of like literal 15-year-olds to literal 35, 36, 37, 38-year-olds. You know, so it's like, bro, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. So we wanted something that embodies that. So yeah, bro. So now we are the Oak Cliff Church. Yeah. I think it's cool. I think it's clean.
Yeah.
But the biggest change, and this is unannounced. When does this episode come out, Gary? Like in two weeks, right? Or this weekend?
Yeah, if we could do it this weekend, that'd be cool because we missed a couple.
Okay.
So
well, I did not expect it to be this weekend, but it's fine. It's fine.
Run it.
Well, and I guess if you hear from here, it's still good news, right? So it's
great news.
It's great news. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, our church is a Hispanic church. You know, you speak Spanish here. Well, not right now, but we speak Spanish. And we've had this project where we have implemented a English section to our church to make it, bilingual, inclusive to the youth and young adults.
Yeah.
And last week, bro, I think one of the most historic things happened in the 60 years of our church.
Okay.
So last week, the church decided that Alchemy, our English service, has been such a blessing that it should be week to week to week to week to week to week. And bro, that is huge news.
Yeah, that is.
That Alchemy is a weekly thing. You know, like I know, like for the OGs that have been here, sometimes you go to Oak Cliff and you don't know if there's Alchemy or not. You know, it's kind of like a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But the fact that the church saw fit that, oh hey, this is working. This is a blessing. This is something that will not only benefit the people here, but even the people downstairs in the Spanish service. So the fact that they have decided to allow us to do that, I think I was through the moon. I was excited, bro.
Yeah. Dude, that's exciting. So what's your plans?
Was it no?
right into so no, but that's awesome, dude.
So starting June 22nd is when it's gonna happen.
June 22nd, official Alchemy. You preaching every Saturday.
Ironically, June 22nd, I will not be here. I will be in Houston. But we do have a guest speaker. But yeah, starting June 22nd, bro, it just feels so good to know that. It feels good, like, to know that, hey, like, the thing that's going on here, like, it's real ministry. Like, we're really serving and worshiping God here. But it just feels good to know that, bro, because this is such a different concept for this church. And it feels good to know that as much as it is different, and it might make some people uncomfortable, they trust the youth and young adults enough to be like, here are the keys. You take this where it needs to go. And because it's not, for those of you guys who are unaware of like how the Adventist traditional system is, you don't really have Hispanic churches that embark in these projects. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I think when you started this year, I think the inconsistency of Alchemy kind of hurt a little bit. Of like
since I started, bro. Since this is not even a last year problem. It was 2016.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
really?
2025? No, 2015. Sorry.
Wow,
9 years. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was so excited, because it's a 9-year process that this was.
Brother, I feel like it just started.
No. I mean, it's now we're like budding it out, like putting stuff together more. But yeah, bro, the foundation started 2015 with ironically another pastor named Pastor Will Klinke.
Oh, okay.
He built it from the foundations. It's a vision God gave him, a project that God gave him, and also ironically, while he was putting it together, I was in college as a student pastor. So I've seen it like from
the
ground to like to where it's now. So I'm like, bro, I was super excited. Super excited, and it's going to bring a lot of changes. It's going to bring a lot of changes to what we do, how we do it.
Yeah.
Now we do have services together.
Okay.
We're going to do communion together still. We're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's nice, because at the end of the day, bro, we're one church. You know what I'm saying? We have maybe different cultures, maybe different backgrounds, maybe different language preferences, but we are one church. We are the Oak Cliff Church, upstairs and downstairs. Yeah. So I think communion, it's a. Now they're going to do it bilingual. They're going to like have translators and stuff for the people. Yeah. So it's going to be different.
Yeah, but even then, like if you look at like start looking at that perspective, man, the more, and I want to say the bigger you kind of get up here, the more blessings. Let's say that Alchemy and just Oak Cliff Church ends up gathering and getting to. I think the more they mix in together, I think you're going to see a little bit of change, and sometimes it might be hard for the church downstairs and for the team up here, but man, eventually you'll see when we do those communions, right? The worship might be a little different. Like you might have more youth involved in parts or helping out with the whole process and everything that.
It's a benefit everywhere,
Yeah.
And I call those good problems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is going to be like how do we navigate these different cultures now, growing. And like I said, shout out to them, like big shout out to them because they literally said, this is different, but here you go.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a visionary missionary. Yeah. Like they're thinking of the mission, you know, because how many of our teens, bro, go to a school, and they have friends that don't speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Like how can you expect them to invite their friends to their church?
Yeah.
So now it's like, oh wait, my church has this thing, and I know it's every single weekend. So now I know even Nat had that where she invited her friends, and they were so excited about it, and we didn't have it for like 3 weeks. But now it's like every single weekend. Bro, I was making the preaching calendar.
Yeah.
And I was just like, my heart was just happy because it was just like, oh, we got it. Like no skips. Even when there's evangelistic series, we're gonna have our own.
Man.
So it's uncharted waters, bro. Like, I don't know how it's gonna look like, but we're gonna have to sit down, brainstorm, and see.
Yeah. But that's where you get the whole team together, right?
Yeah.
But man, that's just awesome to hear, man. I think that is gonna open up more opportunities to just grow and grow and grow. And I think you're doing awesome. If someone hasn't told you, I think you're doing great.
And fun fact about that, bro. And this is because a lot of pastors ask me like, "Oh, how do you do this?"
Yeah,
I haven't done that. That's the thing. Like the people who truly like run, like it's like we got like just to name a few. We got obviously Joe the director, but we have Natalie, we have Eva, we have my wife, we have Deline, we have people behind the scenes like yourself, Gary, Isaac. We have Sammy doing worship. We have the sub directors, and I think it's like there's such a buy-in right now that it's just a natural thing, But, and this is where I'm going to talk to the team. That's why I didn't know if it was going to release this week. But now that we know that this is of God, because this thing is of God. This thing has lasted 9 years. This is God's will, God's plan. That means a lot for us now too, because this is awesome. We can celebrate. We got it week to week.
Yeah.
But now we got to grind.
Yeah.
Because it's not like, oh yeah, just we got him 3 weeks in a row and then we got a 2 week break. No.
Yeah.
Like every single week, we have to come and be ready and to honor that vote of confidence that our leadership gave us. Because like if they're trusting us with essentially the future of their church, we have to make sure that we come correct, responsible, not do things halfway, but do things in a way that honors God, in a way that it's just worthy of the confidence given. So
I mean the way what you just said, man, I think that's very impactful because the trust that they're giving you, and I think what I took away right now is just because most likely the younger generation is going to start coming here, right? Like the little kids are going to kind of transition from here to the main church, and I just think you guys are that responsibility that I feel like you have, right? That you're like, man, I'm here to help build them even higher, and I know how you are. You like to have a certain standard, and I think you're able to communicate that
quality,
the quality to your team. That man, you guys are gonna reach that for sure.
Well, because you're part of the team.
So. Oh yeah, we're gonna reach that for sure.
Unless you're quitting, I don't know.
No. I'm here for you, man. But dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard. We're brainstorming ideas to how we can make special programs and even speaking like. And I guess this is just you and I kind of just brainstorming on camera, but it's just I'm thinking like, how often do I put myself a month? Because I'm believer of if you are a spiritual leader,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta make that presence known in the pulpit. And that might be old school, like an old school train of thought.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for like if you are a spiritual leader of community, like what you preach in the pulpit is very important. So I don't know if I want to preach like twice a month, 3 times a month. It's like what's too much, you know? So but like you just said right now before we started, you said 2 weeks for a series is too short.
Yeah.
You know?
It was.
So I don't know. Like I don't know how that's gonna look, but
yeah.
What do you think? You think maybe alternate maybe 2 and then 3 and then 2 and then 3 or
No, I think I think, and this is just to put you out there, right? I think this rest of the year is just you. The rest of the year, brother. I mean, because you like, let's think about it, right? And then I challenge you because you finally got that big statement of like from the elders saying, "Hey, we're gonna bless you with this. You gonna take it because we see what you're producing."
what we are producing.
Okay, well, you see what, but like in the sense they see what you guys are all producing up here. That this is where you step up and say, "All right, guys, I got it.
No,
I'm gonna help y'all."
And I don't mind, but your sister told me that I bore her.
What?
She said not too much. No, but
I mean, I challenged you.
no, I'm down. Well,
you said it.
But it would be nice to have like
yeah, some special guests.
Yeah, like people that we gotta like fly out. And like I'm talking about like actual like.
I got a cousin.
Yeah, no, and another day because I actually think your cousin's ministry is awesome.
Yeah.
Like I stay stalking him on Instagram.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if you watch his brother, but I'll be watching all your stuff. He works.
His name's Josue. Meño. I call him Meño.
He works in Cali, right?
Yeah, in California.
Modesto. Yeah. I'll be stalking.
I haven't talked to him because in a way, like me doing this, I didn't tell my cousins that like, hey, I'm gonna start a podcast, like really for my church or anything. But the first one I did, I think he like commented on it, and it's just like, dude, I got like my cousins looking, right? I mean, he's a pastor. I don't know.
No, and his ministry is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I really,
and that's kind of where I got the whole challenge from because I remember talking to his sister and he's like, or his mom, and he like, I think he committed himself to preaching every Saturday for a year once he like really started his ministry.
Well, as a pastor, I don't mind preaching. Like I already preached like what 90% of the alchemies, anyways.
Yeah.
But like you tell me, as someone who sits down, you don't get tired of the same person every week.
No, I don't.
Nat, would you get tired of the same? Like, if I preached every single Saturday, would you get tired? I think I would get tired of me.
Yeah.
You agree?
No, I think new people hear the.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I think you're building something right now, right? Where people, I mean, it's not that they get attached to you, but I think you understand the goal that you have up here, that you can really capitalize on your messages on, because eventually you're gonna start talking to our guests. Like the more and more guests come in, you get to the opportunity to say, oh, okay, like, man, I got to meet this person. And then because when you have special guests, they don't really see like the day-to-day, the week-to-week operations.
Oh, yeah. To get really attached to the community. No, I get that. Yeah. And maybe even getting people from in-house to start preaching,
That's tough. Yeah.
No, but I think it's possible. I think it's possible. Like there's some people that I think can, and I'll put them on blast, that I think can preach already. Like, like you're here week to week. I think there's no reason that Sammy can't go up here and preach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like he already kind of does it sometimes when he does worship. Johanna, ironically, preached last night in the Pathfinder thing. And I told her, I was like, bro, there's no reason you shouldn't be up here because if her and I sit down, structure a sermon, I think I think she can kill it. So maybe like impact like having like a weekend where we have like someone from the community to preach, or even like a bomb guest speaker. But I think for sure 2-3 times a month. But I don't know if y'all can handle me every single month.
I like you, so I think I'm cool with it.
I don't even like myself. Just kidding. I love myself. But yeah, bro, I think that's like
That's exciting though.
No, and it just happened, you know. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things that I've been really like humbled about all
Yeah.
that, you know. Like I said, because I feel like I was here since the beginning,
Yeah.
and I always thought it was weird that God sent me back to this church, but it's kind of like, oh no, you got unfinished business here, you know.
Get done.
So yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like God's allowing me to
Yeah.
send the project off to what I call phase 2, you know, where we have that consistency now. We have the trust of the church, and we're able to continue to build this community.
Yeah, no, I got you, man. And I'll share something that my mom kind of told me, because my mom's always been a big advocate of like just helping in the church and
She is, yeah.
being part of the church. And she mentioned that she really enjoyed what is happening up here, because she feels like, in a way, her and I were talking, that you know, it pulled somehow, right? It pulled me, my two sisters, to get back involved with church.
So yes, but let me ask you, because I know Nat got involved specifically because she was directly named subdirector for Aqua. What made you though?
That's tough.
Because it is kind of like, it was, because I was here 4 years ago. I didn't really see you much.
Yeah.
And then now it's like all of a sudden, like, you're pretty present.
Yeah.
Is it, you think it's the children? You think it's...
Yeah, I think it was just my walk.
Okay.
I think it was my walk at the time of, like, you know, and I guess we could talk about it, because I think it was really this year that I made more of a more presence, but it was also last year, right? I did my fast.
Oh yeah, that was a big moment for you, right?
Yeah,
big moment.
I think it was my fast. I did 21 days, pure water,
Pure water.
And I think that's where you know, I had my conversation with God, and I was like, hey, you know, I want to do this fast, and something was calling me to do a fast. Maybe just because my name was Daniel, right? But something was calling me to do it, and I had already done like a 3-day fast, a 5-day fast, and I decided to do a 21-day fast, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. Like, I want to really pretty much tell God, hey, I'm gonna do this fast, and then I'm walking with you to the end of time.
So that really, like, kind of centered you now. You know, like, gave you like a purpose.
Yeah.
In a way, right? Because you, now that you mention it, that fast, I think there's like Danny pre-fast and post-fast. You know, and it's, I'd never really clicked it together, but yeah, bro.
Yeah, and then just coming here, and then, you know, walking in and talking to you, and it's like I had been bugging you about doing things and stuff like that. Yeah, and and then it just happened, right? I walked in, and you're like, hey, I need you to be part of this, and I was like, okay, I need you to be part of this.
And that's also why this community exists, right? Is to provide those opportunities and those avenues for other people who might not get the chances to work or be in ministry to actively be in it, right? So yeah, I'm excited, and I hope that with this new process we discover many other Dannys, you know, many other Dannys who are kind of just waiting to be called, you know, like, hey, put me in the game, game,
and I think that's one thing that I'm also trying to do, because I think, like, we talk a little bit about, I know you want to talk about vulnerability and everything, but I think one of the things that I'm trying to do now that I'm like guiding myself back into church a little more is like really reconnect with the people that are here. Like, I think I kind of created so much of a distance for myself with, you know, everyone here, that now I'm trying to rebuild that with everyone. You know, I was kind of, I may try to help out with adventures or Pathfinders again, just to kind of get a little bit more involved and really just start connecting again with the youth.
Yeah, those are our kids, you know, those are.
So, because I think at one point, you know, I was very present to where, like, I knew everybody, and I was like talking to everybody, and then I just kind of stopped and distance, and now it's like, I know these people, but I just haven't made the time to like reconnect with them and just see how they're doing, see how, you know, just see what their life's up to.
You know them, but there's not an existing relationship, right?
Correct.
And I think that's the natural next step, though. Dan.
Mhm.
It's like now I'm here, I'm immersed, I want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like now, these people are my people.
Yeah.
You know, this is my home. We're Faith Mind's home.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm actually really happy. I didn't expect to hear that from you today, but I think, and I think that's part of what maybe the adults will get shocked about,
Mm-hmm.
because alchemy is a domino effect.
Mm-hmm.
We start getting active here, we start building ties and connections here. Naturally, what they're going to want to do is, I want to pour into, you know, these other ministries that are going on, Pathfinders, Adventures, Bogari Familia, Salud Temperancia. I know how to say those in English. So, so it's one of those things that, so I think it's literally you're living what the benefits are going to be for the whole church. Because, bro, it starts from being, I want to work, I want to be active in ministry, I'm in alchemy. Now I want to reconnect with the community. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah. real quick, though, because before we wrap up, well, we've been yapping a lot, but I did want to talk about. Talk about. Yeah, the time.
Yeah.
I've been wrestling with the concept of vulnerability.
Okay.
And I think it's good to talk about here, especially because our podcast is about vulnerability, and it's just, it pains me, and I know this can't be undone, but it pains me of how taboo vulnerability is.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's cliche to even say that,
Mm-hmm.
but now to even like live it and experience it, of we don't like sharing our stories because there is still shame,
you
know? And I guess it hit me more as like a pastor, because, and like I was hanging out with some OG pastors the other day, like yesterday, 2 days ago. And it's kind of crazy how relaxed the other pastors seem with each other. But the moment that we are in our like work, there's like I gotta pretend to.
You gotta take a step back.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that forever, or I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know, like I can't fake like emotion, and I don't think you could fake emotion and be a successful pastor. Because I think people can kind of read that, like, oh, there's something that this dude is, you know, hiding, and I just think vulnerability is scary, but I don't think we can make lasting relationships as leaders of the church if we're not willing to take that. I call it the happy Sabbath syndrome. Yeah, like take the happy Sabbath syndrome on and be like, hey, I'm sad today. Or hey, this week kicked my butt. Or like I'm going through depression, or I'm dealing with, you know, even like I fell into temptation this week or something, stuff like that. And I know it's an idealistic way of doing things, but I've just been thinking about it, and maybe because of my series Deep Waters, which by the way, it's over. So no like how much Jesus is a God that's truly a relatable God. You know, and it's like he actually invites us to be vulnerable with him, because in our vulnerability, we will understand and know that he's felt that in a very real way. You know, he's felt your pain, he's felt your struggles, he's felt your insecurity, he's felt your sin. You know, and instead of running from you, he embraces. And it would just be lovely to have a church where vulnerability is met with embrace. You know?
Yeah, no, I like that. And I'll back that up with there's a devotional that I listened to, and they were talking about pretty much the same thing, vulnerability. And they were talking about how, and this quote like hit me. This was like maybe 2 weeks ago when I was kind of, you know, I was kind of going through a motion right now where I was like, man, it's like I wanted to connect with God, and I was struggling. Like I don't know why. Like it was just like I was reading the Bible, I was reading my devotional, but I didn't feel like I was. I had that connection.
You're just going through.
Yeah, I was just going through the motions, and then they said, you know, God really doesn't ask for much. He just asks for you, right? And then I pondered on that, and it's just like, when he's asking for you, sometimes we're like, oh, well, I'm not ready. I'm not, I'm at this point in my situation, or I'm going through this, that. We start kind of bringing up all these little things where we're putting a little bit more of self-doubt or more like insecurities or more issues into where we're creating our distance with him when he says, hey, he's just asking for you. He's literally asking for you the way you are at that moment.
At the moment.
Or whatever's going through, whatever you're going through, that's when he wants you. Regardless if it's up or down, right? That's when he wants you because he just wants to connect with you.
And maybe unintentionally, churches have created an environment where you aren't allowed to come unless you reach a certain standard, look a certain way, unless you get judged.
Yeah.
So I think because of the lack of vulnerability in our churches, I feel like Christianity has become less relatable. Hopefully, we can create environments. I personally think that the environment up here is an environment where you are allowed to be vulnerable. I still don't think people are completely comfortable being vulnerable, and that's just honest. I don't, because it's new. You know what I'm saying? Like all your life, you heard that you had to be one way in order to, to be part of the club, to be part of the church. But no, like you said, it's like it's the now. You come now, and then God will make the necessary changes.
Yeah.
So I just hope and pray that as we continue to kind of make vulnerabilities a staple in our church, that it becomes contagious. It's somewhere where, hey, we're a church. We pray together, we cry together, we laugh together, we fight together, we hug together. But we want to be as genuine and as true to what is going on as possible.
Yeah, and then I'll say to that too is like, I think I've noticed it whenever you come up here and you preach and everything, and at the end you always welcome the elders or whoever's up here, to stand up here and to pray. And I think that's where a lot of the times I see people come up here, and it's and you're looking at it from afar, but you see the people coming up here and you see like genuine, like, hey, like I want to give myself, right? And they start kind of being that, letting themselves be vulnerable by even coming up here, right? And it's
because
just
even coming up is scary.
Yeah.
Because you think about, like, I don't know if you've ever had this thought, but like sometimes when people make callings and I feel like, God, I want to get up, but I'm afraid that if I get up, my friends are going to be like, oh, what is this dude going through?
Yeah.
Or, like, this dude is weird. But yeah, even the act of them getting up and saying, I need prayer, like that's the start of being one.
Yeah. Yeah. And I encourage, everyone, man, I don't know. I've transitioned into where I think the more we talk about or connect with each other and just talk about those things that we're going through and just bring that to, obviously first with God and everything, I think it just, the closer you are with him, the more and the easier, those situations or those moments in life that you feel like are difficult, he just makes them super easy for you.
And we want to encourage our community up here to don't keep it in. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like talk to God, but find people here that you feel comfortable with just venting, talking to, build that brotherhood, that friendship. I always love, and kind of just to end off now, the story of the 4 friends that took the paralytic man to Jesus, and it's one of those things that in that paralytic man's most vulnerable time, Jesus didn't look at him. Jesus looked at his friend. And he said, because of their faith, you are made well. Yeah. So like start building that community, start building those friendships, and you'd be surprised what someone else's faith, how it can be a blessing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think that's part of the reason why we're also doing this pod, man.
The Found Faith podcast.
We're just trying to show these moments and have these conversations to encourage everyone to come and be part of the Oak Cliff Church.
Weekly, June 22nd.
Yeah. So, but yeah, dude, I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I think it was a good episode, bro. I think every once in a while you and I, I think like every 5 episodes you and I should chat.
Just chat, see how things are.
So yeah, if you guys are watching this on Saturday, if Gary is able to, because I know Gary put in that word, but if you guys are watching this Saturday, we're excited to tell you that yes, we're going weekly starting June 22nd, and
Pastor Will gonna be preaching every Saturday.
Oh,
Just
or
kidding.
Danny.
Oh man. Oh, Natalie.
Oh yeah, hermana.
But other than that, guys, this was episode 5. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.